In the heart of a serene Mexican town nestled amidst lush forests, an old tale whispered by elders lingered like a shadow cast by a long-forgotten fire. The chilling memory was etched into the souls of the townsfolk, a memory of a wildfire that had unleashed a torrent of terror upon their lives. It was a night like any other when a faint smell of smoke began to permeate the air. Panic swelled as the whisper of the wind carried tales of an encroaching blaze, born from the heart of the nearby forest. The inferno's greedy fingers reached out, hungrily devouring everything in its path. As the flames danced on the edges of the town, fear manifested into reality. The inferno, once a distant nightmare, had become an unstoppable force. Homes succumbed to its rage, reduced to embers and ashes. Chaos reigned, and amidst the chaos, a man named Carlos watched his life crumble in the blaze. Desperation clawed at his heart, his anger growing like a wildfire within. Overwhelmed by the profound loss of his home, Carlos's emotional turmoil escalates to the point of madness. In the grip of his intense emotions, he reaches for a firearm, the embodiment of his desperation and rage. He proceeds to indiscriminately discharge the weapon. The unsuspecting bystanders in close proximity are instantaneously gripped by shock and terror, their initial confusion giving way to a primal instinct for self-preservation. In a frenzied scramble, they hastily retreat from the perilous scene, desperately seeking safety from the unfolding chaos. Meanwhile, Carlos, consumed by a distorted mindset, paces through the streets. His steps are purposeful yet erratic as he scans for his next target. His eyes, clouded by a mixture of grief and instability, dart restlessly from person to person, each passerby potentially becoming an unwitting victim of his torment-fueled rampage. The atmosphere is thick with unease, the once familiar streets now transformed into a haunting maze of uncertainty and danger. As he continues his ominous pursuit, Carlos's frenetic energy seems to surge, lending an eerie intensity to his quest. The forest, an emblem of both obscurity and solace, beckons to him. With a sudden burst of erratic determination, he flees from the now deserted streets and plunges headlong into the dense thicket of trees. A few manage to find refuge, cowering in corners and hidden crevices as Carlos's rampage continued. The sound of sirens grew louder as emergency services and police vehicles arrived, their flashing lights competing with the eerie glow of the flames. The night was long, and it was only as dawn broke that the wildfire was wrestled under control. With the first rays of light, the police commenced a search for the madman. Tracking his footprints, they ventured into the scorched forest, their determined voices echoing through the smoky air. Days turned into nights, but Carlos remained elusive, like a phantom haunting the charred remains of his former abode. Finally, deep within the forest, they discovered him, hanging lifeless from a tree. His twisted soul had succumbed to the darkness that had taken root in his heart. The nightmare that had been Carlos came to an end, but the scars he left behind ran deeper than the roots of the ancient trees. Time passed, and the town began its slow journey towards recovery. Homes were rebuilt, and lives were pieced together from the fragments of shattered memories. But the forest, once a place of solace and beauty, now held an aura of lingering malevolence. Whispers began to circulate among the townsfolk, tales of a haunting presence that roamed the forest at night. Some claimed to have seen a specter shrouded in darkness, a phantom figure that bore an uncanny resemblance to the tormented Carlos. No one dared to venture into the woods after dusk, for fear of encountering the vengeful spirit that had arisen from the ashes. The tale of the old wildfire and the horrors it birthed had woven itself into the fabric of the town's history. The scars remained, both seen and unseen, a constant reminder of the darkness that can consume even the brightest of souls. And so, as the years went by, the forest stood as a silent sentinel, guarding its secrets and casting long shadows over the hearts of those who dared to remember.